Welcome to Game Crunch, a weekly video game podcast. My name is Mike Anastasia. With me today, we got Brandon.
Hello.
We're here to talk about games and things.
Games and things.
Yeah. So, what's on the agenda today? Oblivion. Back again. Back again, baby. I don't know. Then whatever else Brandon's been playing. Pretty much. Switch 2 stuff. Obviously, we know some more news on that. By the time you listen to this, some of you may even have it pre-ordered. And, I don't know. Ready to get into it?
Yep.
Okay. Let's do it.
All right.
All right, Brandon. Take us off.
All right, so I'll start off with
things.
Yeah, I'll start off with the Oblivion Remaster, which I did play the opening of today. And I will say, at least in the start of the game, it was very, very stable on max settings on my 4070 Ti. And everything was good. It got a little shaky when I got out to the open world, but it was because I changed the graphic settings around to make sure it had like a more stable frame rate. And once rebooting it, it was totally fine again. It's very pretty. It is very, very pretty. It runs very well. It looks very nice, and it captures the same essence of the original Oblivion, in my opinion. It's good. I really don't have a whole lot to say about it. If you've never played Oblivion before, it might be a good way to hop in for the first time. But I don't know. It's just really good.
Yeah. Is it what was that? I did just see that there's no mod support for it.
That's not true.
Huh?
There are already mods coming out. Like, there's no like official mod support, but people already made mods. So.
But obviously not the same kind of support that a lot of their other stuff has been getting. Then there's no official mods. Are they not planning on doing them at all?
We don't know. We don't know. They literally like told us about this, showed us this, and then released this within the span of like 4 hours. When I played this, which was about 2 hours ago now, the game had just released. Like, I played it the second it came out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, how much time have you even gotten into it then?
Like 45 minutes, enough to go through the tutorial where you set up your character. You know, you see the main oh god, not king, but I can't remember what his name is. But anyway, you see the main like guy die that sets you off on the journey to begin with. You scrounge around through the sewers, and then you come out of the sewers into the big open world and everything. And I went through that, and I explored the open world a bit. It got jumped by a guy who was like, give me your money, give me your stuff. And then I killed him, and then I took his stuff instead. And then I continued on my path to the like first main quest, where you have to pass off the jewel that the maybe it's the emperor, I don't remember, it doesn't matter, but the main head of this place gives you. And because you got to find his bastard son, because everyone thinks he has no heirs left, but he does have one, and the plot starts with you having to go and find his heir that is left, that he tells you about before his death.
Okay.
So there's that. It's cool. Like, it works really, really well. I mean, it is Oblivion, just now it looks better, like, but it still maintains the same feel, unlike a lot of things where they do like, remakes of things. It still maintains the same feeling as like the original Oblivion. It's still very campy. It's still very silly. It's still, they even left in like the things like the guy who will like stop you at every second and be like, stop, who goes there? That sort of thing. Like, they even left all of that in. Like, they didn't try to change any of that. They left the stuff that made like Oblivion in the game. So it's pretty cool, and it looks incredible, and it runs really well too. So yeah, if you have a chance and you can play it, you should play it. It's $50, or it's on Game Pass. So
okay.
Yeah.
Very reasonable.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I also
have it on Game Pass.
It is nice. Well, Microsoft owns Bethesda, so yeah. I don't see why they would start being like, yep, that company we own that we bought specifically so we could have their stuff on Game Pass, not putting it on Game Pass. I don't see why Microsoft doing that anytime soon, because I feel like that's the only way they're continuing to gain favor and have any like attention to their brand, is by doing that. You know what I mean? Like, if they all of a sudden were like, hey, Doom the Dark Ages isn't going to be on Game Pass, I think they would be like booed out of the fucking industry. Anyway, moving on
Yeah.
from that,
Okay.
I'm going to talk more about another game that I ended up getting and playing called Sulfur, which is a very interesting game. It's
Okay.
a bit of a
I've never heard of
mix.
this one before.
So this is a roguelike game. This is a indie roguelike first-person shooter game where it is a mix of something like Borderlands and like Binding of Isaac,
Mm-hmm.
and then has like an inventory system similar to something like fucking Resident Evil, where you have to like flip around things and put them into place, that sort of deal. So essentially, the way the game works
Mm-hmm.
is at the beginning you get ran off the road by a witch, and the witch is kind of a bitch. She goes into a cave, and you're hunting down the witch. And then once
Okay.
you enter the cave, there's like multiple parts of that cave, and you go through one part of the cave, then you drop down to the next floor, and the next floor, and next floor, and next floor, and so on until you get to the seventh floor, and then, or maybe it's the seventh floor. The seventh floor has a boss, and
Okay.
that's essentially how it works. And
Mhm.
this game also has elements of like extraction shooters. So like Tarkov and like Call of Duty, DMZ, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have this amulet that will allow you to return to the main hub world if like things are getting dicey. So say you've like so the way you progress in this is you use your weapons. So say for instance you have like a pistol, but you find like an SMG. If you have the pistol and you've been using a pistol a lot, you'll level it up and it'll go up in rank. And as it goes up in rank from you getting kills and using the weapon, you're able to add like attachments to it and like spells. So like you're able to add things like your bullet will freeze enemies after like 3 shots, and then you're able to like shatter the enemies. And you can like build a lot of different combinations with your weapons and with the spells that you get and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a randomly generated dungeon area with a lot of loot that is also procedurally generated, and the loot that you get, you're able to like build your character around that sort of deal. This game is very, very, very good. I've played probably about like 4 hours, 3 hours of it,
Mm-hmm.
which is quite a few runs because it doesn't take long to go through a run. I'm going to show you what it is, by the way. I'm putting it in general chat so you can see it. So yeah, it's got like a very cartoony style, similar to something like Happy Tree Friends in a way, honestly. And it's very like gory
I
and
like it.
over the top and everything. It's very silly. But in general,
Yeah, I don't even know what I would describe this as, but I like it.
yeah, it's really fun though. Like the general like gameplay loop is you go into the dungeon, you fight your way and upgrade your weapons by doing all this fighting and everything, which makes your weapon be able to add more things to it. So like the freezing thing, like an ability to root enemies where like you shoot them and it'll hold them in place because it'll have like roots come out of the ground and grab them and pin them down and that sort of deal. And then like as you like look for treasure chests and stuff, you can get better weapons and upgrade those weapons and everything. But essentially the general gameplay loop is go into the dungeon, kill things, upgrade, rinse, repeat, and like until you get to a boss and like kill it, and then you go out of the dungeon, and then there's different dungeons that come up after that. So after you've defeated the first dungeon, a second dungeon opens up, and I'm fairly sure there are a lot more dungeons. I have not gone to them yet myself because I don't feel like I'm built enough to be able to do so. So a lot of the things I've been doing to make sure I maintain like a good character build is as I go to the dungeon, I look for different weapon parts to like build my weapon, that sort of deal and whatnot, and get a way better gun to be able to go deeper in the dungeon next time I go. Because like I said, this is an extraction shooter as well, and you can pull yourself out of the dungeon when you go in if you make it to the halfway point. So I oftentimes will go in, and if I have like if I make it past the halfway point and I don't feel like I'm outfitted enough to beat the boss, then I will pull out my amulet, which will allow me to teleport back to town. And then once you get back to town, all the stuff that you got from the dungeon comes with you, and so does all the money that you've gotten and all this other stuff. So then you can like repair it and like build it up in town, and then you can go back into the dungeon and like start over from the beginning of the dungeon. But you've got more powerful weapons now because you leveled up that weapon. You added those attachments to that weapon. You added those like spell abilities to that weapon, and it makes it easier for you to go through the dungeon this time instead.
Okay.
And it's a very fun gameplay loop that is really, really enjoyable. Also, the characters have this really weird like way that I guess the only way I can describe it is like the way the engine works. So oftentimes you'll be overrun by a lot of very like fast enemies that don't do a lot of damage, but there's so many of them that they can do damage fairly quickly and it can build up. And when you kill an enemy, they have like an animation where they like fall down, but their body doesn't like stop existing. So if you're shooting another enemy that's behind them and their body hasn't fallen all the way down yet, their dead body is going to absorb the bullets and you're going to waste ammo, and you're also not going to hit that enemy behind them. So you have to be like really careful with the way you like fight, because there's certain elements where, you know, you got to learn the way the engine works, learn the way the game works, because it doesn't play like other games where like, you know, you kill like an enemy and then like, okay, that enemy's body is now down on the ground and it doesn't really matter. You can shoot at it and everything, but no, like these bodies perpetually stay there. And if like the smaller enemies are like running around near those bodies, well then you're kind of fucked, because those bodies are gonna block your bullets when you're shooting them at the other enemies. And I think that's actually a really neat and different way for these sort of games to work, because I don't really know of another game that's ever done something like that right offhand, where the dead bodies of enemies that you kill while you're fighting like a horde can block the ammo that you're firing into the enemies behind them. I'm not really sure I can think of any other game like that, but it does make it a lot more difficult. It makes it so you have to place your shots more strategically instead of just like running and gunning. So I like that element of it, and I think it's very unique and a lot of fun. I really like this game. This game's like a lot of fun. I've been through a lot of runs, which it may not seem like I've been through a lot of runs, but only having like 3 or 4 hours in it. However, you can get a lot done in 3 or 4 hours in this game. And like I said, because it's an extraction shooter, you're able to, you know, do a lot of runs, exit out, come back, do another run, that sort of deal. A few other things that are kind of unique to this game that I've noticed that are really interesting. As you're traveling through the dungeon, sometimes these enemies will have like glows to them, and sometimes they'll glow like green, for instance, and they'll leave like a trail of like poison behind them. So like there'll be some enemies that actually have like elements that you also need to watch out for and whatnot. And sometimes, and I dread when this happens, but sometimes as you're just traveling through the dungeon and like about to go into like another part of it, you'll see like a white mist go past your screen really fast. It's a sort of blink and you miss it sort of deal. But that means you're now being hunted by a vengeful spirit inside the dungeon with you. So while you're fighting all these other enemies, you have to be aware that there is a vengeful spirit that could come up behind you and fucking kill you at any point in time, which is very difficult to keep an eye on, because you are fighting all these enemies, and sometimes that spirit could sneak up on you because you like blinked and you missed it zooming in from the side. And you gotta like stay on your toes and like really watch your surroundings while you're playing this. There's sort of a sound cue that can give it away, but if you don't know what you're looking for, then it is definitely something that comes out of nowhere. So yeah, there's a lot of elements to this game, and like I don't know a lot about it because I haven't even gone to like the 3rd, 4th, 5th dungeon or anything yet. So I don't really know what else is coming, but I do know that the general idea of the game is you really need to pay attention to your surroundings to like learn the map and learn what to do. It's very fun, very good, very, very good.
Sounds interesting.
I highly recommend it. I don't think it's on anything other than PC right now, but I know this is going to be one that will definitely make it to consoles in the future, and it is a blast to play. It was $25. It is currently in early access, so I know it'll go up in price, but I don't see this being more than like $30-$40. But I think with the amount of content and how how much game there is here, I think even in early access that what I have right now that I can play is worth that price if that ends up being the full price when it releases. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is a really good game and definitely worth checking out whenever you get a chance and whenever it comes to console.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be interested.
Yeah, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
I bought it not really on a whim. I played a demo of this a while back, and I really liked the demo of it. But I never what's the word I'm looking for? Pursued it. I never looked into it when it released or anything. And it released in October of last year, but it released into early access. So there's been a lot more added to it since between then and now. So there's that. Yeah, definitely recommend it. Moving on from that, I also started my replay of the Doom remakes. So I started Doom 2016 again.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go through it in Eternal to be ready in time for Doom: The Dark Ages. Because I mean, I like Doom. I like Doom a lot, and Doom: The Dark Ages is probably my second most looked forward to game of the year. So
I know Doom: The Dark Ages looks amazing.
It does. It looks so good. But Metroid Prime 4 is also coming out this year, so it's tough. You know, it's tough. There's a lot here this year. There's so many good games coming out this year.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It is very good this year. Eaten will be good.
Oh yeah, we eating good this year.
Yeah.
I think that is really all I have to say game wise. But I have a few other things to talk about whenever we're ready to move on to news or just yapping.
Yeah, I mean, really all I played this week was Xenoblade Chronicles X more, and I really don't have anything new to say versus, say, last week. I'm trying to think I even, because I already talked about, a lot of the stuff I kind of even had on the back burners, what was it, Black Mirror I talked about, and I'm trying to think if there's even any other, shows or anything. No, I don't think so at the moment. I might think of something as we're talking, but yeah, no, my week has really just been Xenoblade Chronicles X. I think I'm up to 60 hours now. And I'm still I don't think I've progressed the main story any further than last week. I just added 20 more hours. So yeah, so that's where that game is at the moment. But yeah, so I'd say no, nothing there for me this week. I'm not going to bore anyone with more Xenoblade Chronicles X talk. So yeah, let's move on to other stuff.
Okay. So I need to go ahead and have this conversation because I got a lot of things about Marathon incorrect last week.
Okay.
So let's talk about that.
All
right.
And
I think this is a very interesting talk that we need to have.
Okay.
All right. First of all, $40. That is not correct. None of that is correct at all. Currently, the price is Bungie's trying to gauge the interest and find out what they should price it at, or if they should price it at anything at all, or if they should make it free to play. So they are currently not putting a price on this game at all. There is no price. We only have a release date of September 23rd. We do not have a price. There is no way to pre-order this currently. It does not exist. A lot of misinformation was going around about this game, and I fell for it, but I need to fix that right now by saying the misinformation. The amount of maps. The 4 maps does appear to be what they have planned. However, that's really not fair because the 4 maps are the size of Destiny 2 planets. From what I'm seeing, not like the smaller planets where you can explore large areas and do chest runs and that sort of deal. There's a lot to this game that I did not understand, nor was it explained to me fully. So let's jump into that. First of all, I have signed up for the alpha of this to see if I can get into it because I would really like to play it myself and see if I can figure out exactly what is going on here, because it's very difficult figuring it out when you just look at the stuff that they've shown the press. What I have found is through people's leaked gameplay footage now, and also journalist footage that actually have played the game, I've been able to figure out a lot more about this. So this game is PvE VP. So it's similar to something like Destiny, where you fight like the monsters, the baddies, the whatever, that sort of deal, like the aliens, but not in this. It's the runners, this sort of deal. And at the beginning of every single run, you choose a bounty, and the bounty is like, hey, go here and kill this thing, or go here and upload this file, and do yada yada yada, blah blah blah. And you're gonna have people that also have that bounty that are in the world with you, and you're also gonna have NPCs, non-playable characters, not real people, but they're like AI, but they're mixed in there with real players who are trying to do the same bounty as you. And essentially what you want to do is drop in and outfit yourself with multiple items by fighting these NPCs and these other like characters and whatnot before you start going for your main bounty, because of the fact that when you go for that, you'll be fighting real people as well as bots then. So I witnessed some people play this, and the verticality in this makes it so there's a lot of like options for like sneaking and like fighting, like kind of getting in there and being like very aggressive, or like getting the jump on another player. And there's a lot here that makes this seem very, very interesting when looking at it. I do think that this game being free to play, if they were to make it free to play, would be the best thing they could do. And then maybe have like cosmetics for the different like characters that you can play as. Do that sort of deal. Because there is a lot of, it is a thing where there's enough here that it's like, yeah, it's a game. But I do think that because of the current landscape of gaming with these sort of shooters, with these sort of games, if it's not free to play, I don't think it's going to sell unless it's like a $20 game. So I think it's either, it has to be like $20, maybe 30, or free to play. There is no in between. But like, battle pass, free to play, character skins, free to play, that element of things, or just $20 and then also a battle pass, but not have the character skins. Yeah, I think this looks kind of interesting now that I've been able to sit down and look into a lot of it and see stuff that's not just what was being presented to me before.
Okay, that's good.
It does have a very unique color palette. Lots of like bright neon greens and pinks and bright blues and stuff that doesn't normally like appear in a lot of first-person shooting games. And I do like that element of it. It does have its own identity, but in some cases, when you look at things like the shield or whatever, it just feels like it's a little bit like too much like Destiny, but with a PvP element thrown in there as well. And it does still seem like it's looking for its own identity, but I get what they're going for. But there's some other things that we have problems with, that I have problems with here, and it's not even the game necessarily. It's the way they're sending out keys for this. The way they're sending out keys for this is unlike anything I've seen before. And I've been in a lot of betas and alphas and yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Normally, when you play in a beta or an alpha or what have you, you get extra keys to give out to your friends to join you because they want as many people as humanly possible to play. And that is the case here. However, if you get those friend keys and you give them to your friends, it just increases the chance of them being selected. It doesn't just give them an actual key, it just ups their chance of being selected. And that seems really shitty to me. And I don't like that one bit. That seems like a very bad play. I don't like the idea of doing something like that. But yeah, pretty much everyone that I've spoken with is like, yeah, this key, unless it was like given directly to what's the word I'm looking for? Influencers, streamers, YouTubers, that sort of deal. Unless it's given directly to them, like the friend keys like only increase the chance of people being able to get accepted into the alpha. It doesn't just automatically give them the alpha, which I think is really shitty.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the idea of this game. It's got some interesting things going on, but it really does seem like, aside from its color palette, it is missing an identity that makes it stand out. But I hope I'm wrong. But it just feels still very generic.
Mm-hmm.
But the gunplay is good. Again, as I've already said, the gunplay with Bungie games are always good. So like that already has me interested. And the I do like the color palette. I do like all the pinks and the purples and the greens and the this, that, and the other. I do like the idea of having this interconnected open world like thing where you drop in and you go to do a quest, but also other people are trying to stop you or doing the same quest themselves and trying to get it. And again, that is what is in Tarkov. That is what is in DayZ, but not DayZ. Call of Duty DMZ. But like the difference here is this is more visually pleasing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And also, I like the gunplay more here than I do in something like Call of Duty DMZ or Tarkov. So I'm really, really hoping this sticks the landing now. I'm hoping they don't go for like a $40 paid thing, because I do feel like, again, it will be a flop. Or if they are going to do that sort of deal, they have to open this to everyone. They have to test this with as many people as humanly possible, and they need to get this in as many hands as humanly possible to try to, give people a sense of what this is and get them hooked on it. Maybe do like what Overwatch did, which was, hey, watch so much of this and then you can get a key for this thing, maybe do something like that. And other games have done that as well with their alphas and betas and whatnot. They really need to get this into as many people's hands as humanly possible, or it will probably flop. And that's a damn shame, because now that I've done the I've done the research and I've looked more into it, I am interested in this. It does look like it could be good. But that asking price, as well as being able to actually experience it ahead of time, is what is going to make or break this game.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Let's move on from that, though. Let's go to the Switch 2. All right, let's talk about the Switch 2, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about the Switch 2 here.
Yeah.
You've seen some stuff, so we'll go with the stuff that you've seen first. So go ahead and run me through what you've got to say.
Oh, with like the changes there. So yeah. So since last week, Nintendo finally came out and it's like they did exactly what you wanted. They were very clear and concise, like with where things are and what they're doing. Pre-orders are starting on Thursday of this week, so by the time you listen to this, you may already have your pre-orders. They're going up at midnight at Target and Best Buy. So
Walmart also.
That. Oh, Walmart also. So that's
Walmart
good to
also.
know.
Yes.
So you got that. They are going to keep the system prices the same. So $450 for the core bundle, $500 for the Mario Kart bundle. Mm-hmm. So we know that's there, but they're like, hey, some of the prices of the accessories are going to be affected. I really didn't look down that list too much to see exactly what it was.
$10 to $15. Some are only like $5. It really just
looked
depends.
like 5 to 10. Yeah.
I think the thing that got hit the most is like Amiibos. Amiibos went up in price massively.
Yeah, they all went up $10 a piece, which
they were already $10 a piece up from what they were before. So it's like $40 for an Amiibo now, and that's pretty insane.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, granted, the Street Fighter ones are like larger than normal Amiibo, but still, like not.
It's
the
Amiibo.
Last one that was that price was like that giant yarn Yoshi Amiibo, and
that became like $500.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm still in it to win it, just because at this point, like, I can't not do it. But,
what, buying Amiibos?
Yeah, I'm just too.
You're buying the Street Fighter Amiibos?
Fuck yeah.
Oh my god, okay.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I already got
maybe this will be
ones. I might as well give them friends.
This will be how I get you to play Street Fighter 6.
I could be.
I'll tell you this, Street Fighter 6 is a very casual friendly game, and I don't mean like casual like it's very babyified or anything. I
Mhm.
mean, they've done enough here to make it so that people that haven't played fighting games can be eased into it very easily, and also they can learn how to play the game and then make their decision on where to go if they play like the assisted mode or if they play the normal input mode. And I think it's totally fine playing either one of them. I think it's totally, it'd be really fun to play against you in Street Fighter 6 or teach you how to play Street Fighter 6.
I mean, yeah, and I think that's reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, I might be willing to try it. So we will see. And yeah, but I would be, but yeah, I agree. So those amiibo prices, like, I mean, that's like what, like a 25% increase for some of them. So yeah, those are pretty
I mean,
expensive.
some of them were like $12, and now they're fucking. Okay, sorry. I
Yeah,
thought
when
you
they
were talking
started,
about.
they came out at $12.99, and
Yeah,
now they're
and then
like all the way up
15,
to
and now we're
39.
40.
Yeah.
So like, what the fuck, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, exactly. So, I kind of wonder. I mean, well, I guess we'll see kind of what ends up happening with it, but it would not surprise me if these tariffs may end up just straight up killing Amiibo. But
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just wild. That's what they have to do to make them there. But I mean, it's those things that, those kind of things are pretty much only made there. The pipeline is already in China. They probably already have these things kind of made and like ready to go. So it's probably they're just like, we just have to do what we can and just
Mm-hmm.
try to make this as viable as we can. So it is what it is. So but I would also expect that they'll probably limit the supply. Like they'll probably be tough amiibo to get. I would not be surprised. Uh, yeah, so I think those are the big things with Switch 2 that we had updated this week, as far as I can recall.
No, there's more. This one's actually probably the most interesting one I saw.
Yeah.
So, Switch 2 games that are multi-console, such as like say something like this is the one I've seen the most because it's been confirmed officially by the developers. Rune Factory, the new Rune Factory that's coming out. That's going to be on both Switch and on Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
The developers confirmed that the Switch 2 cart will work in a normal Switch, and it will just make it the normal Switch version. So you could buy the Switch 2 cart of several third-party games, if you only have a Switch right now, and in the future, when you get that Switch 2, you put that Switch 2 cart, and then you have the updated version of the game. But you have the normal version of the game if it's inside of a normal Switch.
Yeah,
I mean, this is
awesome.
That's cool. No one told us about that beforehand. So
yeah, this is
I
the
think
only one that we know of so far.
Yes. But you gotta imagine that the others are doing it also, right? Like, it's not gonna be like one developer's doing it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you would think that like another game that you would think would be something that would be kind of like able to do this would be maybe those I mean, it's Nintendo, so they probably won't. But you would think maybe like the Breath of the Wild one.
Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, I was thinking that too. Yeah.
I don't think Nintendo will, but they theoretically could. So.
But I feel like that would also be like a way for like the people that aren't getting Switch 2 right away to like buy their games and like, I can play the game on Switch right now, and then it sells more games, but it also sells more Switch 2 software. You know, so. I think that'd be like really good. I really hope other devs do that because, like I said before, Katie ended up buying a Switch Lite, and when we saw that, and she's most looking forward to Rune Factory, the new Rune Factory that's coming out. So her just being able to buy the Switch 2 version and play it in her Switch, and then when she gets her Switch 2, be able to play it in her Switch 2, like that's very convenient.
Yeah, I thought of you guys as soon as I saw that news too. I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure Katie really likes this game. This is perfect for that. She
loves that franchise.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm probably gonna end up doing that. I'll spring for the extra $10. I think that's how much it is, and get the Switch 2 version, and then she'll just play it on her Switch until she gets her Switch 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
I think it's really cool.
I think there's a few other things that was actually really neat. Like the ad with Paul Rudd. I thought that was a cool callback. You saw that one?
I didn't see the ad. I saw that he did it, and I was like, "Oh, that is awesome." I'm like, because he did like what was a Super Nintendo ad?
He did the Super Nintendo ad, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much tongue in cheek. They know exactly what they're doing. That sort of deal.
I figured, yeah.
It's
But
good.
no, I still thought that was really cool regardless.
But I do guess that they're like the Switch camera functionality, that sort of thing. I think that awful frame rate is just what they're doing because they even had it in the ad with Paul Rudd.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was just like, you're really advertising the Switch 2 camera using frame rate that's like 5 FPS. That is insane to me.
Yeah.
Who else but Nintendo would have the balls to do something like that? Yeah, our shit runs bad. Check it out though. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess the only other thing, which I already mentioned before, was that they released the Oblivion Remaster today, which was really fucking cool.
Yeah, that is pretty. I mean, granted, it's like the worst kept secret in the universe because
They
I think we've known
actually
about
said
it
that the second they started doing the gameplay thing of it. They were like,
forever.
this is the worst kept secret in the entire gaming industry, but here it is.
Yeah. Surprise.
So yeah, and like I said, it is built from the ground up. It is named remaster, right?
Mhm.
But we think of remaster and we think of like upresing some things and yada 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 blah blah blah. It's got like new UI elements, it's got new gameplay elements, it's got new voice acting, it's a completely new engine, it's new graphics, it's got ray tracing, it's got this, that, and the other. I don't know why they called it a remaster. It is literally a remake, like from the ground up.
Oh, maybe they have reasons why.
I don't know. It is so night and day difference from the original that it is absolutely a remake. Like you think of something like what's a good example of a remake? Like
Metroid
give
Prime
me
Remastered, or are you talking about like remake?
remake. Like
Resident
like
Evil 4?
it's like that, but I would even say better.
Okay.
It's really good.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I
So
mean it's still new and fresh, but at least everyone seems to be pretty high on it so far, at least from what I saw.
yeah, it seems everyone that's playing it's really enjoying their time with it. So
Mm-hmm.
so there's that.
Yeah. What else? Do we have any other news?
I'm not sure. I'm excited to be trying to get my Switch 2 at midnight.
I
Like
know,
I
me
said,
too. I was already thinking about it. I have to set like an alarm to wake up
I'm just staying
to.
up all night and making sure I get it.
I mean, I wish I could, but I have to be up at like 5 in the morning, so I can't just stay up all
Yeah,
night and
that
get
makes
0 hours
sense.
of sleep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I always had to wake up at like midnight anyway, so I'm like, I'll just have to like set an alarm just to remember. I'll have like the Best Buy page or wherever like already loaded up, so I can just like wake up, hopefully just sloppily like press some buttons and then get what I need. So hopefully that's all it is. Let's see. Let me look and see if there's any other news. I don't even think I've seen any juicy rumors lately. Because it's all been about Oblivion and Switch 2 lately. So, there's supposedly a Persona 4 announcement coming very soon. I keep
Oh,
on saying that. Yeah, so apparently that there's been like updates on the Persona 4, like there's like a supposed remake website that seems to be getting updates. So, um,
all right.
yeah, so that might be something. Oh, actually, another Switch news that we did not talk about. Cyberpunk 2077 is confirmed to be using DLSS in Switch 2. So we know that is a real
Mm-hmm.
thing there. I did not know. Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, those things, it's all Switch 2 hype right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. That's literally where it is. Yeah, I'm already back to just kind of the updates from other things. So yeah, that's where we are. That's where we are in the world of gaming right now, folks. Yeah. So, what else do you want to talk about? Anything else?
I don't know, man. Like I guess we talked about a little bit. Whereas like you said, they did exactly what you wanted for when I was saying I wanted them to be like concise and tell me exactly how to get the pre-orders. for the Switch, and I mean pretty much right after I started bitching. That's when it
I
came
know
out.
exactly. It was just like, yep, we heard you, Brandon. Here's your list of complaints addressed fully.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's good that they were just very clear with where things are, what they were thinking, and I think kind of what I was trying to say, maybe last week, or I don't even remember if we talked about it. I might have just been thinking it, but really, like it's good that they didn't rush into it. They needed to make sure that they had a price that they were comfortable with, going forward, because they want a price that they're not going to have to shift around. So hopefully that's kind of what they've done. My guess is they probably are like, we'll be comfortable with this price. Maybe allocate a lot of the Vietnam stuff towards us.
Yeah.
That's not going to be as great of tariffs as the other. And then maybe they're hoping just maybe offset some of it with accessories and things like that. So, yeah, that's my guess. So,
Yeah. Well,
mhm.
there it is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just excited that it's actually here.
I know. It's so. I mean, think about it. We're literally like 6 weeks away from the Switch 2. It's
I
not
know.
that far.
I
Mhm.
know. I know.
Yeah, I still have not gotten a shipping update for my SD card yet. Uh, so still waiting on that.
hmm
Um, I think let me look. We'll do a live update right now. Oh,
Okay.
it has not changed. It still says arriving in the next like month, but apparently they're all like back sold. So, are back ordered just like across the board.
Mm-hmm.
No, so I'm glad I got it on there. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, there's already a lot of Switch to accessories.
Bundles. There's also
Mhm.
bundles on like Best Buy.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, which
Hmm.
kind of worries me because I don't want to have to buy a bundle. I'd rather just get the
Yeah.
I'd
No, I
rather
think
get the system and be good.
yeah. I mean, Best Buy's like loading like launch page for the Switch too, where it says
Yeah.
that they are gonna pre-orders up at midnight. Like it
hmm
does, you can just click right onto just like like um a normal Switch 2 like page. Like it doesn't seem like it has anything that necessarily like forces you to. Um at least on here. So hopefully that stays that way. So bundles were all sorts of GameStop bullshit. So that was always kind of their thing. Oh, do you want a Hori controller with your Wii?
Yeah,
Or,
I know. I was like, you want this? You want this? No, I don't. I don't. I just want I want my Switch 2, please, and thank you.
hmm Yeah, no, that would be nice. That's all I want. Just my Switch 2. I'm so excited. So excited. I've had like two people today ask me, like, are you getting it? I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. Like, hey, do you know me? Yes, I'm definitely getting it. So, mhm, I don't know. I don't know why people are doubting, but yeah, no, I'm like stupid excited for that. Stupid excited for I don't know. I got so many things. Like I said, we're eating good this year. It's a real good year for eating. So I'm really excited for a lot of things. So, and like think about it, that means we're also 6 weeks away from Mario Kart, 10 weeks away from Donkey Kong, and all the other stuff that kind of comes along with those, updates. Um, they just put out a new patch for Civ 7 today, so more
Oh
reasons
shit!
to do that.
And you'll get to
Yeah,
play it on your Switch too.
I know. I'm kind of like part of me just kind of wants to. I don't know if I'll pick it up again until then, and just maybe just wait and kind of see what it looks like. Then I don't know. Just so many things to be excited about. Actually, just other random Switch news. Fire Emblem, Sacred. Oh, what the fuck's that game called? Sacred Stones or whatever. That's out on. They put that out on SO I think yesterday or today, so that's out there too. Um, so if you were looking for another Game Boy Fire Emblem, there you go. So you got that. Um, but I don't know. Yeah, I kind of feel like we're just kind of in a slow. Otherwise, I think we're just kind of in a slow news period. It's just kind of gearing up for, just like usual, gearing up for everything to start kind of coming out again in the spring. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if I have anything else to talk about.
I don't think I do. I think I'm good.
Okay, ready to wrap up?
Yeah, I'm good. I think we can
Okay,
wrap up now.
yeah. Well, we had nice lengthy episodes the last couple weeks anyway. So uh, yeah, nice to kind of get things in line. But anyways, thank you everyone for listening to us tonight. Don't forget to find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Amazon, YouTube, wherever you get your podcast. You also can check out all of our old episodes on game-crunch.com. And if you want to reach out to us, you can send us an email at gamecrunchcast@gmail.com. Brandon?
Yep.
Any final thoughts?
Nah, I got nothing.
Okay. That said, my name is Mike Anastasia. You can find me online. I'm Clash of Penguin there or on your favorite gaming console. And until next week, game on.
Game on.
Game Crunch. Mike and Brandon step inside. Baby, where pixels come to life. Press start, adventures on your mind. Baby, game on tonight. Side quest, gotta catch that star right. Level up, the challenge is high, baby. Jones in for the prize. Find a power up, feel the vibe, baby. Bright lights in our eyes. Boss fight, the epic showdown's tight. Game Crunch, where heroes never fall.
Game on.
That's it.
That's it.
That's the game.
That's all the game.
Mm-hmm. We gamed on it.
Yep. Yeah, we gamed on it. We gamed all over it.
We gamed all over it. Just covered it in game.
Yeah, covered his whole face in game.
Yeah, all of it.